Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kat from Yokoso News, yokosonews.com. Yokoso News is the online website to introduce Japanese culture in English so that you can understand Japan more.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.
Yup. All right, so Yokoso News is usually introduce the Japanese culture, like fun stuff, in English. But since the March 11th earthquake, tsunami, and Fukushima nuclear power plant incident, I've been dedicated part of my time to tell you what's going on in the Japan. Since most of you might have a concern towards the radiation and stuff. So, I hope that Yokoso News is the website to, welcome you to come to Japan, but without telling you the in-depth story of what's really happening in Japan, you won't be able to feel safe. So, I try to be as much as honest as possible and then give you all the information from all the Japanese media and then Japanese independent media's report. So if you like to know the latest update of Japan, you can also like us at Yokoso News on Facebook or follow us at Yokoso News on the Twitter. And if you're watching this live, like Sarah Fine, good evening, Cats, hello from Netherlands. Good evening. You will be able to post a comment on the social timeline. But if you are watching this as an archive on YouTube or Ustream, you can just log on to yokosonews.com and click contact hyperlink and then leave a comment from there. So each article has the comment too. So today is August 30th, 2011, Tuesday night, Japan Standard Time. It is the 2 days left. Almost 1 day left on August in Japan. It's almost getting close to the half year since the March 11th. Well, if you feel like enjoying a little bit of Japan, if you come check the yokosonews.com, I went to the event called World Beach. World Beach is the web conference event about blogging and web designing. And, Yokoso News is the social media that I want many Japanese bloggers to join, so I went to those conference to advertise Yokoso News to mainly Japanese people, and then I did some live cast, which you can also check from yokosonews.com. Then I talked to some of the core member of WordPress. And then, I talked to one Japanese English blogger from Australia, Dean from Australia, doing JapanTravelMate.com. So you can enjoy some of the blog talk from that one too. So today I'm kind of tired from all conference event that I was doing. I had to do like 17 hours of live cast last weekend, so I'm kind of tired. So today it's kind of laid back. I didn't prepare any guest, but if you feel like if you haven't watched the last weekend's a 3/11 disaster update number 49. I've invited Jeffrey Johnson from Tsukuba, Japan. He released a charity album that's available to purchase. If you want to know the story of Jeff, you could please go to 311 Disaster Update 49 and check those out too, please. So today, since I'm kind of tired from the event over the weekend, I'm kind of going to give you a brief, not really brief, sorry, the update of this week. And then also this is the reason why I'm late to start. I was watching very interesting news couple programs, so I wanted to share with you because I know from my 9/11 experience when I was in the U.S. When I was studying in college, at college in the USA, and I was there in Los Angeles when 9/11 happened. And major American media kept reporting about 9/11 terrorism, but as in Japan, they stopped the main coverage after a week or two. So, that's why I wanted to kind of bridge the gap, overseas gap. So I just wanted to share with you how Japanese media still reporting about Fukushima and then earthquake and stuff. So this is the purpose of the 3/11 disaster update. Okay, first hour I will give you the weekly update of Japan between August 21st and August 30th. And then the last half of the show, I'm going to share with you what I saw, what the Japanese media reported on TV and the newspaper. Just a disclaimer, it's eventually you are the one who is responsible of making a decision. As Yoko's News always says, you should trust in Japanese government as much as you trust in your government, from your country. You should trust in Japanese mainstream media as much as you trust in your independent media in your country. Something like that. Trust but verify. And nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. Including NHK, Yomiuri, Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN. Nobody is perfect, including Yoko's News too. But more information that you can gather is the more fair decision that you can make. But make sure that you cannot trust 100% NHK, Yomiuri, Al Jazeera, BBC, NPR, no media. You cannot trust 100% to all the media, because, including Yoko's News, because I might myself make a mistake too. So, all right. And even as much as I try to report fair news, it is impossible. So you should know that. But anyway, according to, this is the weekly update of Japan between August 24th and August 30th. According to Japanese Police Department, the total death and missing toll from 3/11 disaster are 20,214 as at 6 p.m. on August 30th. The total deaths are 10,500 15,754, and total missing are 4,460 as at 6 p.m. on August 30th. Actually, this is the sounds like typhoon and hurricane are coming all over the world. Not only Irene in New York, another typhoon is coming to Japan and may approach Tokyo area on August 2nd. So you should go check jma.go.jp, and they have an English website, and they have a tropical cyclone information from JMA website. But Cyclone Talas, it's may be coming to Japan by August 2nd. September 2nd. September 2nd. Typhoon Talas might be coming to Tokyo on September 2nd. So we should pay attention to the weather forecast. So because of that, the tide are getting higher. So many people drown. Actually, not many. About 6 people drowned to death. So if you this is the last couple days of the summer vacation in Japan, but you should really be careful with the going to have fun in the ocean this couple days. Why, Sean? I thought I was late for 1 hour. Yes, I was late for 1 hour too. So let me go back to the Fukushima, North Japan update. So according to Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare on August 23rd, they said that they are going to conduct random tests on the food about the radiation check. So to enhance the quality of the radiation check. Currently, all the food radiation contamination check are conducted by the local government, and then the people raised the concern that these tests are done independently by the local governments in each region. So maybe they are afraid that the quality of the testing may differ. So Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, the Japanese government, said that they will be they are going to try to conduct a random sampling test so that they can increase the check function. On August 24th, the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Fukushima Prefecture held the campaign to promote a Fukushima product at the in Tokyo's Japanese government's building. They sold like shiitake mushroom, cabbage, cucumber, or eggplant, tomato, peach, and sold it to the Japanese government workers. And then, it is time for the rice cropping season. And then, according to Chiba Prefecture located east of Tokyo, where the Narita Airport is, Chiba Prefecture conducted a research of the radioactive contamination of the rice. And then from Shirai City, Chiba, they have detected about 47 becquerel per kilogram of the cesium from the rice. According to Japanese government standard, they said that fewer than 500 becquerel per kilogram of the cesium are safe. So according to the Japanese government standard, Shirai City's rice, it was 47 becquerel per kilogram of the cesium. So although they detect the radiation level, according to Japanese government, this rice is safe, according to Chiba Prefecture on August 25th. On August 25th, according to Fukushima Prefecture, Fukushima Prefecture start doing the test, radioactive contamination test of the early cropped rice. They started it doing the test from 4 locations that they crop on August 22nd. However, they have not detected any radioactive contamination from those crops. So, according to Fukushima Prefecture, they are going to conduct the total of 18 locations. If they're gonna continue to conduct the radiation check, radioactive contamination check of 14 more locations. If they didn't detect the radiation from additional 14 locations from Fukushima Prefecture, they will allow to ship the rice from the Fukushima. By the way, NHK 9 o'clock news just began, and it's all about new Prime Minister Mr. Noda-san. Oh yeah, I think I should cover the politics a little bit, which I didn't prepare anything. Well, although it is new Prime Minister, but in a way, Yokoso, I kind of don't want Yokoso news to get involved politics too much. Anyway, so according to Yomiuri on August 26, they have not, according to like various locations in Kanto, like Tokyo area and North Japan area, the places where they did the testing, radioactive contamination test of this year's newly cropped rice. They have not detected any like radioactive contamination or over the legal limit. It didn't went over the legal limit. So Yomiuri said probably this year the rice will be shipped usually like as it's planned without any shipping restriction. On August 26, from the last weekly update, you might know that the Japanese government lifted the shipping restriction of the beef from all the prefecture in Japan, because Japanese government declared that all beef that are on the market are safe to eat. So Miyagi Prefecture resumed the bidding on those Miyagi beef, and then so from now on, all the beef shipped from Miyagi, Iwate, Fukushima Prefecture, they will be tested. They will be tested on the radiation. They will be tested against the radioactive contamination. So 89 cows were sent to the market on August 26, and they were below the legal limitation of the radioactive contamination. So yeah. So the bidding market on the meat cows of Miyagi had resumed on August 26. Japanese government lifted the restriction on August 19th on August 19th. So. And on August 26, according to Fukushima Prefecture, at the Nihonmatsu city, which is located at 50 kilometers west of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, the Fukushima Prefecture conducted a radioactive contamination check of their rice, and from Ohira village district they found about 22 becquerel per kilogram of the cesium. However, the rest of the district, they did not detect any radiation from those rice fields. So Fukushima Prefecture gave the approval of Nihonmatsu village to ship their newly cropped rice. So this is the first rice from Fukushima which are allowed, which are kind of confirmed that it is safe to ship. Although from Ohira village, they detected a radioactive contamination about 22 becquerel per kilogram. Japanese government said that if it's below 500 becquerel per kilogram of the radiation contamination, it's supposed to be safe, according to the Japanese government. So, because of that, Fukushima Prefecture is going to allow shipping the rice from Fukushima, from Nihonmatsu City, Fukushima, which is 50 kilometers west of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. So that's the first rice from Fukushima that allowed shipping. And on August 30th, according to NHK, in Tochigi Prefecture, because Tochigi Prefecture was lifted the shipping restriction on their beef on August 25th. They start shipping the beef on August 29th. They shipped about 53 cows. They did the testing on all the cow, and all the cows came out below the legal limit. So all these 53 cow has been shipped to the market. These cow will be bid on August 31st. According to NHK, on August 27th, in Tokyo, they held this. Okay, never mind. So the previous were the update of the food contamination concern of Japan. So the following are the news from earthquake, tsunami related update, followed by nuclear power plant related update. Now I'm going to give you the weekly update of tsunami earthquake thingy. On August 27th, in Tokyo, Japan, they held Sumida River Fireworks Festival. Sumida River Fireworks Festival is usually held the last Saturday of July. However, because of the earthquake, they postponed the fireworks show by a month. And then, so Sumida River Fireworks was held with the, they invited the evacuees from Fukushima and North Japan. They've invited about 550 people. So, according to Sumida River Fireworks Festival Committee, Sumida River Fireworks Festival is originated from praying against the sickness or, the disease like incident in Edo era. So fireworks festival is, originated in like being against a natural disaster and stuff. So they decided to carry out the fireworks show and stuff. Many Japanese festival, are like praying for like getting well from the sickness or natural disaster, or try to calm down the god who supposedly caused some natural disaster and everything. So summer festival is always like that. Anyway, on August 27th, in Tsunami, Tokyo, they held the Koenji Awa Dance Awa Odori Festival. Awa Odori Festival in Koenji celebrates like 55th anniversary. And then they said about 1 million people came to this Awa Odori Festival and then enjoy the festival over the weekend in Tokyo, Japan. And they also invited evacuees from Minamisoma, Fukushima, and they also joined the dancing contest and stuff. On August 23rd, Vice President of the United States, Biden, came to visit Japan on August 23rd, and then he visited the Miyagi Prefecture, and he met with mayor, governor, and elementary, middle school kids. Although this visit of Vice President Biden was supposed to be like a preparatory visit of the President Obama in September, but because of the change of the Prime Minister of Japan, this became like kind of ritual, kind of, greeting kind of stuff. So it was kind of nothing. And on August 24th, this is the news about economics. Moody's investors lower the rating of Japanese bonds from AA2 to AA2 to AA3. They lower the rating of Japanese bond by one step. So this is the last time the Moody's lowered the rating of Japanese bond was May 2002. So the rating became equivalent to China or Chile. Moody's said because of the East Japan disaster, and then this conflict of the politics kinda is the reason why they lowered the rating of the Japanese bond. That's according to Yomiuri. And according to Yomiuri, on August 24th, from Iwate, Miyagi, Fukushima Prefecture, there are about 508 traffic lights damaged by earthquake and tsunami. However, only 12% of these damaged traffic lights has been restored. Because the traffic lights are regulated by the local police department. However, they did not really easen up the paperwork. Pretty much, they are behind. They are late to restore these traffic lights. During this half year, sometimes many traffic accidents happen. Sometimes people die from this traffic accident. So the people from North Japan are getting frustrated towards the Japanese police department that they're late fixing the traffic lights. Yomiuri interviewed a elderly lady, 63-year-old lady, that she said that she's afraid of crossing the street during the evening when the it's getting bad eyesight. So she's afraid of going out after the evening. According to Yomiuri, this is actually according to NHK, on August 25th, at the Asakusa Senso Temple. I think many people, if you ever come to Japan, many people have come to Senso Temple, Asakusa. But on August 25th, about 150 monks gathered Asakusa and pray for the victim of the tsunami and earthquake on August 25th. According to Yomi, maybe I'll skip this news. No, I'm gonna stop now. So according to Yomiuri, on August 25th, 4 Turkish students visited the Hyogo, Japan, because Hyogo Prefecture gave these 4 Turkish kids a scholarship because they lost parents during 1999 Turkish earthquake. And those 4 kids visited Japan and paid the came to Japan and then show their sympathy to the people of Japan and stuff. Next, according to Yomiuri, NHK, and many other major Japanese media, so finally, Iwate Prefecture launched the governor's election on August 25th, and then the election day is on September 11th. So originally, governor's election of Iwate was scheduled to be held in April, but because of the earthquake, they postponed by half year. So NHK also reported well, actually I have that news afterwards. So one of the concern about these local election is because many people evacuated outside of Japan, and how some people already turn the moving, they already changed the address, but now the people realize that they can no longer vote to their hometown because they moved their address, that they regret. Many people regret that they shouldn't have moved the address, even though they are evacuating to other area. That kind of stuff. I'm gonna tell you more detail after a mayor's election news. So I reported last week as well, but one guy faked himself that he was a doctor, and he kept prescribing the medicine and tried to treat the volunteer people in Tohoku, Japan. And then he turned. So another update of this guy who faked himself as a doctor, but he didn't have a doctor's certificate. He never went to medical school. So this guy applied a government fund, government grant, not government grant. Japan Foundation. Yes, Japan Foundation. This guy applied a grant to Japan Foundation for about 1 million yen, and the grant was approved, and then 1 million yen was given to this fake doctor. So Japan Foundation turned the Japan Foundation decided to prosecute this guy on August 25th, according to Yomiuri. According to Japanese government, a reconstruction team from East Japan Great Disaster, on August 26th, they finalized the preliminary plan of how to restore ports and agricultural land of Japan. Japanese government wants to finish restoring the ports of North Japan within 2 years, and those agricultural area which were damaged by tsunami, the Japanese government wants to restore those agriculture area in 3 years. So Japanese government finished the preliminary plan, according to Yomiuri. And according to Yomiuri, on August 27, at the Mito Museum, on August 27, they had a very unique disaster training. So they actually, Mito Museum in Ibaraki, during the concert, they did the earthquake training. So this is first time the museum did the earthquake training while the concert was taking place. So I think 430 audience the so the so the museum staff navigate 400 audience to outside of the museum to for the training. It's kind of interesting because these 400 audience paid admission fee to listen to the concert. They pay for the concert, and then Mito Museum interrupt the concert and did the disaster training. But anyway, this is titled as a disaster training concert. Mito Museum organized this disaster training concert, and then they did it on the August 27th. And I have another stupid news on August 28th. According to Yomiuri, a bus driver who transport student volunteer from Fukui to North Japan, he sneak into women's bathroom. Okay. Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah, bus driver was peeping the women's bathroom of the school volunteers. So according to NHK, on August 26th, an international pet fair was held over the weekend, and this year's theme was disaster and pet. So over 200 company exhibit the new product from Japan, Germany, and France. And then, if you have your pet, you should also consider the disaster planning with your pet. So, yeah. So on August 28th, the Otsuchi Ishikawa Otsuchi town held the election of its mayor, and Ikarikawa-san has been elected as new mayor of Otsuchi Iwate. Otsuchi Iwate was one of the severely damaged town of North Japan. About 10% of the population, which is about 14,008 people, are either dead or gone missing. And its mayor, Kato-san, was also the victim of the tsunami. So Otsuchi town had to survive without the mayor for half a year. And finally, they held the election last weekend, and they chose the new mayor on August 28th. NHK reported that, the Otsuchi town people tried to, but the problem is that many people evacuated to outside of Otsuchi town. So election committee tried their best to reach out its residents, try to encourage evacuated residents to cast absentee votes. So election committee of Otsuchi town tried to even mail out the absentee ballots until the last minute so that they can still vote the new mayor even they are away from Otsuchi town because they evacuated outside. So again, the governor's election is going to be happening in Iwate in 2 weeks on September 11. So election committee members are trying their best to locate the voters, and the local city clerk are trying to do their best to encourage the residents, even if they evacuated to other area, they encourage for the absentee ballot, and stuff. Usually, you are not only supposed to vote at a certain location. So, this time absentee ballot is going to be the key. Hey, Liana Marburg, and so on August 28th, according to NHK, Tokyo Metropolitan Government is going to set up a new consultation window for evacuees. It's called Job Coordinator. In Tokyo metropolitan area, there are about 9,000 people still living in Tokyo from North Japan. So Tokyo metropolitan government wants to take care of the job placement of these 9,000 evacuees. So on August 28th, they set up a job placement service using its associated organization. On August 25th, according to NHK, a city official from Osaka one guy from Osaka died during the medical relief effort in North Japan. So this guy is prefecture state worker of Osaka, 49 years old. He was sent to Miyako Iwate as a driver of a medical team from Osaka, and for 5 days. But on the night of the third day, he became ill, and then he died. The cause of the death is the brain bleeding. What's the cause of the death is brain bleeding. So they ask for the what's Rosai? They ask for Rosai, workers compensation. Okay. And then last two news of the North Japan update. So in Tanohata village, Iwate, they resume a tour ship, Sapa Sightseeing. Sapa Sightseeing is the the guide tour of the small ship. It costs about 3,500 yen for 1 hour. If you want to take a tour, you should call Tanohata Network. But they will give you the tour of Tanohata Village, Iwate, and then in this during this tour, the guide will also teach you how the tsunami damage was. So they start, some of the people resume the sightseeing tour in North Japan, but also people of North Japan try to also give you what they learned from tsunami. The last news of tsunami and earthquake. Oh no, I already said it. This one about this was NHK news. I read the Yomiuri news. Within 3 years, they will try to restore the agricultural land were damaged by the tsunami. So on August 26th, I read this news already over there. All right, so there has been an update of North Japan tsunami and earthquake. Now I'm moving towards a update of the Fukushima and then Fukushima nuclear power plant related update. And I will also read about followed by my specials. So according to TEPCO, on August 28th, around the third nuclear reactor's water gate of the ocean, See, it's kind of hard to translate Japanese to English simultaneously. I'm sorry, folks. So this is the news from NHK on August 30th. TEPCO's released the data of the ocean contamination near the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. Around the second nuclear reactor's water gate of the ocean, the radioactive contamination of the second reactor's water gate on the ocean was cesium-134 was 0.11 becquerel per cc. Cesium-137 was 0.12 becquerel per cc. Around third nuclear reactor's water gate, the cesium-134 was 0.079 becquerel per cc, and cesium-137 was 0.088 becquerel per cc. They have sampled 6 other locations offshore of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. However, they did not detect any radioactive contaminated water from 6 other locations of the ocean. Again, I'm going to repeat. Many independent scientists from Toyo Marine University and Tokyo University, they are conducting the long-term research of the marine contamination. they are suspecting. So now, as you see the TEPCO's release that they did not detect any radiation level around Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. However, the scientists believed that these radioactive contaminated water accumulated on the seabed of the Japan Sea. So, Japanese scientists are continue to sample like seaweed, shells, and the fish. They are continue conducting this research. So if you are working with some marine, researcher overseas, but I'm sure they need more help. So if you know those marine researchers, international marine researchers, you should help Tokyo University scientists and Toyo Marine University scientists and stuff, so that we can speed up the process. So next, on August 24th, according to Yomiuri and NHK, I actually mentioned this too. So, Japanese government's investigation team, Japanese government put together an independent investigation team independent from NISA, or Japan Safety Commission. So, as you might know, Japanese government has two nuclear-related institution within the Japanese government. One is the Nuclear Industry Safety Agency, and other one is Nuclear Safety Commission of Japan. But because they failed to monitor the safety, so Japanese government assigned the additional investigation team. And then, so that this additional independent investigation team interview TEPCO workers and other local government personnel. And they said that they interviewed over 126 people over 300 hours. But they are not open to the public yet. So among the people they interview, it include the chief of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, Yoshida-san. So, but because the investigation team said if they release the name and contents of the interview, it might affect the further investigation. So they did not release the information to the public. According to the investigation team, they will make some kind of midterm report by the end of this week, according to Yomiuri and NHK. According to a investigation team, so then additional news of this from Yomiuri. So according to the investigation from this investigation team, TEPCO knew that over 10 meters of tsunami might come to Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant in 2008. So in the first couple months, TEPCO kept saying that the tsunami was beyond their expectation. They did not expect tsunami is this big, TEPCO kept saying. However, this investigation team led by Hatamura-san the honorary professor from Tokyo University, led by a honorary professor Hatamura-san from Tokyo University, incident investigation committee. They find that the TEPCO employee, at least TEPCO, somebody from TEPCO knew that tsunami could go over 10 meters and in 2008. So they knew about the height of the tsunami by 2008. So they had 3 years to relocate emergency diesel generator to the higher location and everything. So according to this investigation team, Japanese government revised the counter-earthquake plan in 2006, September 2006. So NISA asked the all the power company, including TEPCO, to revise counter-earthquake planning. And so because of the September 2009's revision of the counter-disaster planning by the Japanese government, TEPCO recalculate the height of the tsunami in summer of 2008, and the result was over 10 meters of tsunami. So in a way, TEPCO knew about this tsunami would come, and they didn't do anything for the last 3 years. So according to Japanese government, on August 24th, Japanese government set used to have 3.8 microsievert per hour as the limit of the schools. You might remember from the weekly update from like a couple months ago, angry parents came to Japanese government a couple months ago and urged them to revise the safety legal limit of the school, because Japanese government temporarily set the regulation that school could be radioactive contaminated as bad as 3.8 microsievert per hour, because that could result in 10 microsievert per hour. But many experts went against the guideline of the Japanese government Ministry of Education. Many experts said kids should not expose to the radiation no more than 1 millisievert per hour. So the Japanese government revised the safety plan that kids are only allowed to be like active where less than 1 microsievert per hour. So school in Japan must be less than 1 microsievert per hour. So Japanese government, Japanese school are gonna try to clean up all the elementary and middle high schools to be less than 1 microsievert per hour from now on, according to Yomiuri on August 24th. So according to Japanese government on August 24th, they will try to clean up the amount of radioactive contamination to half in 2 years. And they will reduce the children's exposure to the radiation by 60% in 2 years. So they lay down the guideline of how they try to minimize the radioactive radiation exposure. This basic guideline indicate the responsibility of the Japanese government and local government. So the area where contaminated more than 20 millisievert per year, that's where the Japanese government is responsible mainly. And then the area where it is area where the less than 20 millisievert per year of the radioactive contaminated area is local government will be responsible for that. So then by doing the radiation cleanup guideline, they will try to reduce no more than 1 millisievert per year of the radiation level in 2 years. So Japanese government set the goal. So Japanese government is going to take care of the area where is contaminated more than 20 millisievert or more per year of the radioactive contaminated area, and the local government will be responsible for the area where the less than 20 millisievert per year of the radioactive contaminated area. And then Japanese government is going to support this local government, and they will try to minimize to less than 1 millisievert, reduce the radiation level to less than 1 millisievert per year of the radiation level. And according to Fukushima Prefecture on August 24th, Fukushima Prefecture started a detailed air radiation level check. So Fukushima from August 25th to 26th, Fukushima Prefecture workers going to visit 661 houses from Minami Kodai district, and they will measure the radiation level of each houses at 2 locations from each houses. So, for example, 160-year-old guy's house, they measure about 1.8 microsievert per hour of the radiation. And at the garden, they found 2.1 microsievert per hour of the radiation. And this guy is eating the vegetable that they cultivate from the garden. So they're worried about internal radiation exposure. But anyway, so Fukushima Prefecture start conducting more detailed, in-depth radiation check for the residents of the Fukushima now, which I'm also going to explain to you more detail. So according to Yomiuri, a Japanese government has the additional investigation team, which is the Management and Finance Investigation Committee of TEPCO. The lawyer led by Shirakawa lawyer. These committees, Management Finance Investigation Committee, is responsible of checking the TEPCO's finance to make sure that TEPCO is not hiding any assets and make sure that they will pay as much as possible to the residents of the Fukushima and stuff. So, but Shimokawabe, chairman of this committee, held the press conference on August 24th. TEPCO's salary tends to be higher than other company, including like retirement, pension plan. So TEPCO should consider revising this salary, pension plan, or retirement fund for 401k and stuff. It's not 401k in Japan, but it's kind of similar, you know what that means. So TEPCO has little bit more money to pay before Japanese government start using taxpayers' money to use it for the damage paid to the Fukushima residents. So on August 20, I'm gonna mention it one more time. On August 25th, Japanese government lifted the shipping restriction of all the beef. So according to Japanese government, all the beef in Japan considered to be safe, or consider that they are being checked properly for the radioactive contamination. So, and then additional news from the Yomiuri on August 24th. So previously, the investigation team found out that TEPCO knew about more than 10 meters of tsunami. But the additional finding was that TEPCO knew that more than 50 meter high of tsunami could come to Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. So TEPCO was, so according to Yomiuri, according to a incident investigation committee of Japanese government, TEPCO knew about 14-15 meter of tsunami could come to Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant in 2008, and they didn't do anything for 3 years. So according to their finding, TEPCO already knew that about 8.4 to 10.2 meter high of tsunami could come to the entrance near the ocean front of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, and tsunami could go up to first and fourth nuclear reactor, and then the tsunami water could go up as high as 15.7 meter high, and from around the fifth and sixth nuclear reactor, tsunami could reach about 13.7 meter high. So in March and April, TEPCO knew. In April, last April, TEPCO kept saying that the height, they didn't know about the height of tsunami. However, TEPCO knew about this height of tsunami could come in 2008. So TEPCO was lying to people in last March and April, according to the investigation team of the finding of the Japanese government. So, yeah. Yup. So, according to Yomiuri on August 24th, German company, the water filtering company from Germany, Kelher, I don't know how to pronounce it in English well, but their water filtering system is increasing their sale in Fukushima. So I guess they're supposed to be working really good to remove the radioactive contamination, I think. So, hello Annette. Hello. So according to TEPCO on August 25th, they said that they're going to pay 100,000 yen per month as mentally damage, as a part of the mental damage to the 12,000 people from Minamisoma, north part of Minamisoma, Fukushima. So additional damage pay. So TEPCO and Japanese government start finalizing how much money they will be paying to the people of the Fukushima. So it is kind of complicated calculation that they are doing right now. So but that's it. And then, according to Japanese government on August 25th, they're going to let the residents to go back to their house within 20-kilometer zone of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant for the second time. So, from the May, the residents of the Fukushima within 20-kilometer zone of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant were allowed to go back to their house once to try to get their belonging, but they are only allowed to go back for 2 hours to get belonging. And this is the second time that they're going to allow the people to go back for the second time. And this time, previous time, only the residents could go back only by bus together. But this time, the residents could use their own cars to go back for the second time. The second allowance to go back their house second round is going to start from September 19th. So people who used to live 20-kilometer radius from Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant is going to be allowed to go back to their house for the second time starting September 19th. Sorry guys, I'm translating the Japanese news as I read. So according to Kanko Kenkyujo, okay, I need to get their English name. 地球環境研究. Okay, according to National Institute for Environmental Study, on August 26, about 13% of iodine-131 and 22% of cesium-137 released from Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant incident landed land of Japan. An area spread from Kanto, Nagano, and Niigata from Tohoku. Large area. So the research team from National Institute for Environmental Studies, in Japanese they said the 地球環境研究 Center from 国立環境研究所 National Institute for Environmental Study of Japan and Global Environment Research Center. Global Environment Research Center from National Institute for Environmental Studies. Their team, led by Ohara-san, they think about 1,040 terabecquerel of iodine and 10,000 becquerel of the cesium-137 were released from Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, and it spread in the air and landed to the surface. And about 13% of the iodine-131 and 22% of the cesium-137 has been landed from Tohoku to Kanto, Nagano, and Niigata. So, and then among those released radiation, iodine, many parts of the iodine were more like a gas, and it spread more like circular. However, cesium tends to be more like particles, and it landed along with the cloud or rain. So cesium is more influenced by the weather condition. So the area where it rains or snow the more tends to be more radioactive contaminated than others. So this is the finding from Earth Global or Earth Environment Research Center from National Institute for Environmental Study, led by Ohara-san, on August 25th or 6th, 2011. So if you want to know more, just call National Institute for Environmental Study in Tsukuba, Ibaraki. And then according to Yomiuri and NHK on August 26, so previously, people who used to live within 3-kilometer radius from Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant could not go back home at all. But starting August 26, finally, the residents who live within 30 kilometers of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant start being able to go back home. So about these 1,100 people, 1,100 residents who live within 3-kilometer zone of Fukushima permitted to go back their house for 2 hours. This is the first time since March 12th. According to Japanese government, Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant is getting stabler, so it is now safe for the residents who used to live 3-kilometer radius of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant to go back. So they start going back. And on August 26, according to TEPCO, their water filtering facility temporarily stopped for about 2 hours. According to TEPCO, on August 26, a cesium filtering system of the Curion the pump of the Aliva stopped functioning for about 2 hours, but they start using the backup pump and resume working. So, but they start running the backup system, so the water filtering system resume working. According to TEPCO on August 26, they were doing the test of the durability of the building itself of second, fifth, and sixth nuclear reactor building. And then, according to TEPCO, second, fifth, and sixth nuclear reactors building have no problem to withstand the additional earthquake. Then reported to NISA, Nuclear Industry of Safety Agency. According to TEPCO, TEPCO said. So then previously TEPCO already researched and tested the durability of the building of the first, third, and fourth nuclear reactor, which had the hydrogen blast and then explosion. Then, according to TEPCO, all the building on the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant can withstand against the big earthquake, according to TEPCO, as on August 26, and reported that to NISA, Nuclear Industry Safety Agency of Japanese government. Yep. On August 26th, according to Japanese government, they think that they need about 220 billion yen to as a budget to clean up radioactive contamination of the land of Fukushima and surrounding area. So they are going to include this from the second repair budget bill, according to Japanese government on August 26th. And according to a NISA, Nuclear Industry Safety Agency, on August 26th, they came up with the calculation result. So the amount of the cesium-137 released from Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant is as much as 168 of Hiroshima bombs. So NISA calculated that cesium from Hiroshima atomic bomb, cesium-137 was released about 15,000 terabecquerel. I'm sorry, no. So from Hiroshima atomic bomb, cesium-137 was 87 terabecquerel, they assumed, they predicted. But from Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, the cesium-137 was 15,000 terabecquerel compared to 89 terabecquerel from Hiroshima atomic bomb. And iodine-131, for iodine-131 from Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, it was about 160,000 terabecquerel of iodine-131 was released from Fukushima Daiichi, whereas 63,000 terabecquerel of iodine-131 was released from Hiroshima atomic bomb. So, compared to Hiroshima atomic bomb, iodine-131, the amount of iodine-131 from Fukushima Daiichi was 2.5 times, and cesium-137 was 168 times as much as Hiroshima atomic bomb. So the amount of the leakage of the cesium-137 from Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant was 168 times as much as the one from Hiroshima atomic bomb. And for iodine-131, leakage of the iodine-131 from Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant was 2.5 times as much as the one from Hiroshima atomic bomb. Complicated calculation, but that's the amount, I think. And then we now have a concern over those radioactive contaminated soil. Radioactive contaminated garbage. How we need to take care of them. Fukushima Prefecture, Governor of Fukushima, Sato-san, met with former Prime Minister Naoto Kan on August 27. And then, but Naoto Kan asked the Fukushima prefecture to store those radioactive contaminated soil temporarily in the Fukushima area itself until they come up with the additional measurement. So governor of Fukushima is really perplexed by the request of Naoto Kan that they need to store the radioactive contaminated soil in the Fukushima within the Fukushima prefecture itself for a while. So this is the radioactive contaminated garbage is the very next concern. So this is the report from Yomiuri on August 27th. According to Ministry of Environment on August 27th, from 42 ゴミ焼却施設 from 42 in Shira, what you call, from 42 garbage processing plant, they from 42 garbage processing plant, garbage burning plant from Tohoku and Kanto, Tokyo area, they found over the legal limit, which is 800 becquerel per kilogram of the garbage. And then, so you know, each city local government runs like a burning facility to burn their garbage, and from those ash from the garbage, they found the radioactive contamination of the cesium, and then Japanese government set the restriction that over 8,000 becquerel per kilogram of the radioactive contaminated ash is the legal limit. So they need to have the extra handling. And then about 42 processing plants from 7 prefecture and metropolitan area, they found over the legal limit ashes, and they are having trouble taking care of those. And then according to NHK on August 29th, about in Tokyo, they launch a organization called Nuclear Power Plant Damage and Conflict Resolution Center. I don't know their official English title is, but this third-party organization consists from 130 lawyers, and their center is located in Minato Ward, Tokyo. And then this center is under the umbrella of mixed Ministry of Education, Technology and Science, and then they will become a middle person between TEPCO and the residents, or the fishermen or agricultural farmers, cattle farmers, and then they will try to speed up the process try to resolve the conflict between TEPCO and those who are the victims of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant incident. And then, according to Yomiuri, so in Shizuoka Prefecture, their green tea was partially radioactive contaminated. So Japan Agricultural Group and the Association of the Green Tea in Shizuoka decided to claim for close to 94 million yen of the damage to the TEPCO. So people of the Shizuoka, the tea farmers of Shizuoka Prefecture, wanted to ask TEPCO to pay 94 million yen and then try to cover the cost, the loss of what they lost. And according to Fukushima Prefecture, for the first time, Fukushima Prefecture conducted a radiation check within 20-kilometer radius of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant around the rice field. So Fukushima Prefecture for the first time, Fukushima Prefecture conducted a radioactive contamination level check around the rice field within 20-kilometer zone of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. And all 13 locations, they went over the limit. The highest point was about 25,226 becquerel per kilogram. According to the Japanese government regulation, Japanese government allowance was 5,000 becquerel per kilogram. So all 13 locations went over 5,000 becquerel per kilogram So pretty much within 20-kilometer zone of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, they cannot grow rice right now. So what's wakasagi? According to Gunma Prefecture on August 29th, oh, by the way, the previous testing of rice field within 20-kilometer zone was on August 29th, yesterday. According to Gunma Prefecture, from Onuma, from Maebashi, Onuma Maebashi, the wakasagi from Onuma Maebashi, they found about 640 becquerel of the cesium from wakasagi. I think this is the one of the fish, right? Yeah, one of the type of the fish. They found 640 becquerel per kilogram of the radioactive contamination from wakasagi fish. So they are not. So according to MEXT, Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, on August 26, they released a new map to show you the soil contamination. So about 34 locations from 6 districts went over the Chernobyl limit. So during the Chernobyl incident, if they found about 1,480,000 becquerel per square meter of the cesium, the residents were forced to relocate. And among the soil testing by the mixed Ministry of Education, they found about 34 locations that went over the Chernobyl limit. And then, as on June 14th, most highest contaminated point were the within 20-kilometer zone of Okuma, Fukushima. It was 15,450,000 becquerel per square meter for the cesium-137. With cesium-134, it was 29,460,000 becquerel per square meters. And other 16 locations went over 3 million becquerel per square meters. So, according to Ministry of Education, they sampled the soil from 2,200 locations, and among those 2,200 locations, they found that 34 locations went over the Chernobyl limit. That's the report on August 26. And according to TEPCO on August 29th, about 3 TEPCO workers were exposed to beta. These 3 workers are TEPCO employees, and then in the morning of August 28th, they were changing the filter at the water filtering plant. They were switching the filter to remove the salt from the water. So somehow this water filtering facility has high amount of beta. So beta burn. I don't know if they're gonna have a beta burn or not. So that's according to Yomiuri, and according to NHK, these 3 workers, the beta radiation exposure was each person was 23.4 millisievert, 71.1 millisievert. So beta radiation, according to Japanese government regulation, beta exposure allowance is 1,000 millisievert. So it's their beta radiation exposure was within 23 millisievert. So it's beyond the government regulation. So according to TEPCO, this is like okay, according to TEPCO. According to TEPCO, on August 30th, contracting TEPCO workers who worked on Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant for 7 days in early August passed away by leukemia. This worker was responsible of taking care of other workers' radiation exposure. While he was working on site of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, his external exposure of the radiation was 0.5 millisievert, and they didn't detect any internal radiation. So TEPCO believed that there's no association with the leukemia death of this contracting worker. But one 40 years old, the TEPCO contracting worker who's in the 40s died by leukemia on August 30th. According to NHK on August 30th, Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, they lifted a temporary exposure allowance of the worker on Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant as maximum as 250 millisievert. However, the Japanese government is planning to lower the legal limit to 100 millisievert per hour. 100 millisievert. So, Japanese government is going to tighten the legal limit of the radiation exposure allowance from 250 millisievert to 100 millisievert by this fall, bringing back to the normal. According to Hosokawa, Minister of Labor, Health, Welfare, said by fall, they want to bring it back to normal radiation level, according to NHK in Yomiuri. According to Iwate Prefecture start a testing on all meat. Start testing the radioactive contamination on meat. So Japanese government lifted the shipping restriction of the meat from Iwate Prefecture on August 25th. On August 30th, Iwate Prefecture start testing all the meat that will be shipped to the market. Iwate Prefecture is going to test all the meat that's going to be on the market. Tochigi, same as Tochigi Prefecture on August 29th. Tochigi Prefecture also started a radioactive contamination test of all meat that will from Tochigi Prefecture. And according to According to NHK, so previously I told you guys that the investigation team, Japanese government investigation team found out that TEPCO knew about the height of tsunami. So, TEPCO kept saying last March and April, TEPCO didn't know that this height of tsunami could come to Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, but Japanese government investigation team found out that TEPCO knew about this height of tsunami could come to Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant in 2008. And then, according to additional finding, TEPCO finally reported this finding on March 7th to NISA, Nuclear Industry Safety Agency, 4 days before March 11th. And NISA, Nuclear Industry Safety Agency, told TEPCO that NISA asked TEPCO to report the detail, and NISA told the TEPCO to revise its facility and counter disaster measurement. So TEPCO knew about the fear of tsunami 3 years prior to March 11, and NISA, Nuclear Industry Safety Agency, was reported 4 days before a incident, 4 days before the earthquake. Yeah. So according to TEPCO on August 24th, this is too technical, but in the third nuclear reactor, they're going to change the route of the cooling water onto the third nuclear reactor, and they will going to use the different pipe to directly cool down the fuel inside of the third nuclear reactor on August 24th. And according to NHK on August 24th, in Hokkaido Prefecture, the nuclear reactor number 2 of Tomari nuclear power plant is going to stop its operation because they run for 18 months. So starting on August 28th afternoon, they stop the second nuclear reactor of the Tomari nuclear power plant of the Hokkaido. So now 41 nuclear reactor out of 54 nuclear reactor are not working. So Japanese, in Japan, we are kind of experiencing a shortage of the electricity. And the last news of a weekly update from August 23rd to August 30th. On August 28th, In Yokohama City, the Japanese government held the panel discussion seminar against the food safety. So about 300 people from the city of Yokohama attended this seminar, and they learn about what is about the internal discussion, and they learn about if they exposed to 100 millisievert of the radiation, the death rate increased by 0.5%, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. So the residents of Japanese people, wanted to, so anyway, these kind of seminars are being held all over Japan, and Japanese people are eager to learn about this stuff, I guess. Alright, so that has been the weekly update of Japan between August 23rd to 30th. Hey, what's up, eyes? Everyone, this is Scott from Yokosu News, yokosunews.com. Yokosu News is the online website to introduce Japanese culture in English so that you can understand Japan more. If you want to receive the latest update of Japan, please like us at Yokosu News on Facebook or follow us at Yokosu News on Twitter. Our website is yokosunews.com. And then, we since the March 11th earthquake, we've been telling you the weekly update of what's going on in Japan, from North Japan, which were affected by tsunami and earthquake, and Fukushima nuclear power plant crisis. So I've been giving you each, 1-2 hours update each week, and then that's about it. So the second half of today's show, I just wanted to share with you 3 stuff from the news that I watch on NHK. So no, it's not that big. Okay, so Japanese TV program and Japanese independent journalists continue to broadcast震度2 Yeah, anyway, so on the last week, NHK reported the interesting coverage about how internet helped the disaster recovery effort of Japan. And then they told me that actually internet infrastructure was, I kind of understood, but internet infrastructure was damaged, quite a big deal, on the March 11th earthquake. So there are about 5 fiber optics internet pipe from Japan to US, then 4 out of 5 fiber optic line between Japan and the US damaged and stopped working. So only one internet line was working. Then the internet line that was working was between Mie and then USA. So my prefecture. So I kind of think that's kind of reason why I was able to continue the Ustreaming show on the day of March 11th, because I am in Yokkaichi, Japan. So only the one internet line survived from March 11th earthquake was from Mie Prefecture, my hometown. So yeah. So then, because Ustream server is located in the US, like I'm sending this video image to the server in the US, and they distributing to the people, to you. So, but because internet pipe, only one internet pipe survived between Japan and the USA, and that one pipe that survived are located in my hometown. I was able to continue to broadcast on this Ustream. And then also within the Japan too, in between Tokyo and Tohoku, there was three main internet lines, and only one line survived, and 2 lines got cut off between Tokyo and Tohoku. However, because of that one line survived, the internet was able to continue functioning in Tohoku area where the damage was not severe. So it was a quite interesting news that I saw from NHK. NHK Educational TV IT White Box number 19 from I think it was on August 21st. Yeah, so of course now all the fiber optic line is fixed, but yeah, it was amazing that then I was using that on the one survived internet line to continue the broadcast to the Ustream on March 11th. And then even right now, some of the disaster area in North Japan are still they don't have internet, so some volunteer company or people are setting up the satellite internet to the disaster area to provide the internet access even now. So anyway, so that's the interesting TV program that I watched from IT White Box number 19 from NHK Educational TV. And then on August 27th, I watched the NHK News and special about people are really having trouble taking care of the garbage from earthquake. So yes, ice. And Annette, all right, goodbye, Annette. So garbage is the one of the concern. So for example, Ishinomaki, Miyagi, according to NHK on August 27th, about 656.7 million tons of the garbage they got because of tsunami wiped everything, including the building. So 2.7 million tons of the garbage that the Ishinomaki Miyagi now had to take care of. But because of the fear of the radioactive contamination, because now, the rice straw from Miyagi was contaminated. So it's, natural to think that those Miyagi prefecture's debris may be also radioactive contaminated too. So how we take care of those garbage that are maybe radioactive contaminated. And if the Miyagi Ishinomaki has a concern about the contamination, how are we going to take care of the debris of the Fukushima itself? And then not only Fukushima and North Japan, actually a sewage system is the one of the another concern too. So you might remember that at the end of March, Tokyo area's water was radioactive contaminated too. So those contaminated water eventually reached the sewage facility, and those sewage filtering plant, they filter those mud, and they have high concentration of the mud. Even the water itself, contamination was kind of little, but still, filtered concentrated mud has high amount of the radioactive contamination. So including Tokyo, the Tokyo sewage processing facility, they are troubling about how to take care of those mud coming out from the sewage processing facility. So those are the now the concern, how to take care of the debris. And NHK, another fantastic program from the NHK on August 28th. Like Scientist Network. I don't know how to translate to the English title, but NHK broadcasted a documentary about two scientists who has been conducting a massive research independent from a Japanese government. Continue doing the radiation research, which I also mentioned briefly last week. Masaharu Okano, former researcher of RIKEN, he developed, he's over 80 years old scientist. He developed a mobile radiation monitor with GPS. So they set it up on the car and they start measuring the radiation level of each location in April. So they were able to conduct the detailed radiation check for the first time in April. And Shinzo Kimura he's the expert of radiation hygiene from Tokyo University. He has been, he has been on the field since the March 15th. He also went even close to Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant when it was, still okay to go in. And he has been testing the soil as well. So this time, the NHK's broadcast on the August 28th, they featured about how these two scientists were conducting a research of the 50-kilometer zone of Fukushima. So as you know, Japanese government set the 20-kilometer and 30-kilometer zone, and then they asked those people to be careful. But Japanese government kind of said that people who live outside of 30-kilometer except Iitate village, they don't have to worry about it much. However, Shinzo Kimura-san went to Nihonmatsu, Fukushima City, Fukushima, and Koriyama, Fukushima, to test the soil and to test the radiation level of those areas, which is 50 kilometers west of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. So these areas are considered as a hot area. And this area may have about 45, as much as 4 to 5 microsievert per hour of radiation. So Kimura-san went to local government, and before Japanese government, maybe they were fed up with Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant stuff itself. So, maybe they were just because overwhelmed. But Kimura-san went ahead to contact local government and conduct the test by himself. And, so with the coordination of Nihonmatsu Fukushima, Kimura-san conducted a soil test. And also, this Masaharu Okano-san, former researcher from RIKEN, he developed the simple internal radiation body counter system. So it's amazing that the guy who is over 80 years old, he already retired researcher. But because he has experience with the Chernobyl, both Kimura-san and Okano-san has worked on the field of the Chernobyl, so they kind of know. So they worked together and developed the radiation body counter, and they went ahead. They went ahead to research Nihonmatsu Fukushima, which is 50 kilometers west from Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, which is way outside of 30-kilometer zone of Fukushima. And then with the coordination of Toshihiro Takatsuji-san, who is associate professor of Nagasaki University, he helped the soil test and everything. So, for example, then also NHK introduced the effort from the local residents. For example, Kenta Sato-san, he is the member of the Chamber of Commerce from Iitate village. And Iitate village was the village that was told to evacuate. So Kenta Sato-san wanted to help out the kids, so he suggested a Iitate village to distribute the notebook to kids, so that kids can start memorizing how they were spending the days on and after March 11th. So for example, you might want to, when the nuclear incident happened, you might want to ask your kids where they were, what kind of food they ate, if they were outside or inside, and how long they were outside and where. So Kenta Sato-san coordinate to distribute the notebook to ask kids to log their activity after the March 11th. And so then NHK went to end of July. NHK followed Kimura-san, scientist Kimura-san and Okano-san, both scientists, independent scientists. They visited Nihonmatsu Fukushima at the end of July, and they conducted a detailed research of internal radiation exposure outside of 30-kilometer zone of Fukushima. And then they kind of tested about they tested the internal exposure of the Nihonmatsu Fukushima, and many people had the internal exposure of the radiation, but everybody was within 100 microsievert of the radiation exposure. Nobody went over 100 microsievert of the internal exposure. And so Nihonmatsu Fukushima asked Kimura-san to help measure the detailed radiation exposure of each location. And then Kimura-san helped teach the local city workers to how to measure the radiation. So, for example, Kimura-san, emphasized the city workers to try to measure like a park, the ground field, especially where the kids go have fun and play. And then, so one place of the Nihonmatsu Fukushima, he found about 1,080,000 becquerel per kilogram of the contamination. So, which is over the limit of, it was over the relocation limit of the Chernobyl. So some part of the Nihonmatsu Fukushima, 50 kilometers away, but that area had a hot area, and those area kind of area that people kind of have to relocate, but Japanese government hasn't been appointed to relocate yet. So Kimura-san, with the coordination of the Nihonmatsu city, he picked two family and gave them a decimeter to find out that how many radiation they are exposing to the radiation. So he picked two family, one family with a newborn baby and another family with elementary school kids. Then, so by using the decimeter, they found then they analyze what kind of people which does different activity could expose to different level of the radiation. For example, from one family, grandma goes to farming, so she spend farming outside many hours of the day. So grandma exposed to the radiation the most. But daughter, I think daughter has a newborn baby, so she spent most of the time in indoor. So grandma was exposed to 103 microsievert per week, and daughter was exposed to 64 microsievert per week. However, the 64 microsievert per week means 3.3 millisievert per year, which is 3 times as much as the government legal limit. So, Nihonmatsu Fukushima must take the measurement, because according to Japanese government regulation, this daughter has a newborn baby and she is exposed to 3.3 millisievert per year. So it's 3 times as much as the government regulation. But because the daughter was spending most of the time indoor with her baby, so her internal radiation exposure was only 9.2 microsievert. So because they spent most of the time indoor, internal radiation exposure was 9.2 microsievert. On the other hand, Kimura-san went to test one other family with elementary school kids. The one brother who belonged to a baseball team, so he practiced outside. So he was exposed to the radiation 73 microsievert per week. So that could calculate to 3.8 millisievert per year, which is almost 4 times over the legal limit. But sister, on the other hand, she belonged to a basketball team, and their basketball team practiced indoor. So she was exposed to 65 microsievert per week. So about 18 microsievert per week less than her brother. So even though they both go to same school, they live in the same house, because the brother belonged to baseball team and playing outside, and sister belonged to basketball team practicing indoor. They have different exposure of the radiation. That goes to internal radiation exposure. Kimura-san tested an internal exposure using Okano-san's simple body counter. Brother's internal exposure was 59.3 microsievert. One sister's internal exposure was 33.2 microsievert. So, when brother was playing baseball outside, probably the dust from the ground field that may be radioactive contaminated he probably breathes in those dust. That's probably the reason why the brother has more internal radiation exposure. So, Kimura-san, from Kimura, Shinzo Kimura-san, who is the radiation hygiene expert from Tokyo University, has been conducting this research and finding out these results. According to Kimura-san, also, it's also, people, if you live, whether you live in a house made of wood or concrete, because concrete cut the radiation to 1/5 compared to house made of wood. Wood only cut the radiation to 1/2. And then later the time, Kimura-san also tested incorporated with Nihonmatsu City, and how he can efficiently clean up the radioactive contamination of the house. For example, he removed the surface of the soil of the house, but sometimes the soil is strong. It takes long time to clean up, and sometimes you need to clean up the rooftop of the house, so you have to climb up the high place of the house and clean up. So Kimura-san tested to clean up the one house, and it took them 15 hours with 10 people to clean up one house to reduce the radiation by 60%. So in order to clean up one regular house of Japan, it took 10 people, and it took them 15 hours, and they could reduce by 60% of the radiation. One of the room in the house used to have 1.2 microsievert of the radiation, and they could cut the radiation to half, to 0.6 microsievert per hour. So so these kind of effort the NHK was reporting on August 28, 2011. It's from NHK Educational TV. It's called ETV Special. I have a link on the Yokosu News 311 Disaster Update 50s, number 50s page. So the independent scientists that you want to pay attention to are Shinzo Kimura, who is the radiation hygiene expert from Tokyo University, and Masaharu. So Shinzo Kimura-san, he's in the 40s and 50s. I think, I don't know how old he is, but he is the more like the guy who has been conducting this research. Masaharu Okano-san, he is already retired scientist, but he kind of came back to work because of this incident. So he's not that active, but he keeps inventing all kinds of new device. He is the former researcher from RIKEN. He went to both of them went to Chernobyl during 1980s to conduct the those Chernobyl incident. Then they have been conducting those research outside of Japanese government and helping with the local government to prevent from further exposure threat of the radiation. So everyone remember the scientist, these two scientists, Masaharu Okano, the former researcher of RIKEN, and Shinzo Kimura, radiation hygiene experts from Tokyo University. These two independent scientists who has been doing the pioneer work of Fukushima nuclear power plant radiation exposure threat. Now they're doing the internal radiation exposure threat of the kids, and stuff. So, okay, it's been almost 2 hours 30 minutes of the recording of 311 disaster update number 50. This is the 50th annual disaster update. I don't know if it's long or short, but it's 50th time, everyone. Do you guys have any questions? I kinda kept talking this week, and I'm tired from last weekend's event from the World Beach. It was a fun event, but I broadcast it like 17 hours straight. So, and I just again kept talking for 2.5 hours. So I think I need to sign off pretty quick. I need to sign off now unless you guys have any question on the social timeline. Everyone, this is Katz from Yokoso News, yokosonews.com. Yokoso News is the online website to introduce Japanese culture in English so that you can understand Japan more. However, since March 11th earthquake and tsunami and Fukushima nuclear power plant incident, I've been dedicating part of my time to give you the latest update of what's going on in Japan, the in-depth coverage of what's going on in Japan. So that you wouldn't miss stuff that we know, because we Japanese speak Japanese, so most of the latest information are provided in Japanese. But most of you, so if you don't speak in Japanese, you wouldn't know about this stuff. This disaster update has a I dedicate it to two kinds of people. First kinds of people is the people who live in Japan but who don't understand Japanese much. And second kind of people I want this broadcast dedicated to is the people who don't live in Japan but who might have family member or relative in Japan. So that, I'm not going to say in and around Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, I'm not going to say that place are safe, that place Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant are dangerous. And now we start finding out that more places might be dangerous for the radiation. But once we start finding out that if you just go to those locations for like 1 day or 2 days, as we learn that radiation contamination is not that bad. Especially if you're an adult, if you're over 18 years old, and you don't have to worry about that much. So, nothing is like black and white. Everything is kind of gray. But, so if you are 18 years old or younger, you might not want to go to Fukushima. You might not want to go to around Fukushima nuclear power plant, especially within 30-kilometer zone. And then because the radiation travel differently, it's not just the circular, as I said during the update. So you kind of want to know which area has a hot spot. Even within Fukushima prefecture itself, if you take a look at the map, some area of Fukushima has more radioactive contaminated, but some area of Fukushima are not radioactive contaminated. So you kind of have to, it's like some part of Los Angeles are safe, some part of Los Angeles are dangerous. So, same thing. I'm kind of trying to tell you the same thing. So some part of Fukushima are safe, but some part of Fukushima are not. So, that kind of stuff. So, And depends on who you are. If you are over 18 years old or over, more likely most of the part of Fukushima are safe. If you're just going to go there for like a day, it's no big deal. Especially if you're over 18 years old and older, because we're finding out more numbers now. All right. So, all right, cool. Unless I think nobody else has a question, Serafine, Ice, Marburg, thank you very much. So, Marburg, for your information, I do have Uzo's cell phone number. I tried to call him, but number was not in service for you for your information. I did try to call Uzo's number, Japanese cell phone number. All right. So thank you very much, everyone. Next live cast is another 311 live cast on next Tuesday. I'm not planning to do other live cast on this weekend because I'm kind of getting tired of this Matsuri coverage. So I kind of want to take a rest over the weekend. Can I? So, but if some urgent news happen, I will come back to emergency live update, of course. So if you like to know the latest update of Japan, including the Japanese culture fun stuff, please make sure to like us at Yokoso News on Facebook or follow us at Yokoso News on Twitter. And also, please spread the word of Yokoso News too. If you think my service of Yokoso News is the worst doing, I will continue to do so, but I think I might think to start thinking about cutting back the weekly show to monthly show, or or maybe I will take a break from 311 disaster update, as today is as a 50th anniversary of the 311 disaster update, and I don't have so much more viewer at this point because sometimes I need to prioritize other stuff. So doing weekly update is also, I need to spend like a day to prepare and stuff too. So all right, so it depends on how much demand that I have from you guys and your voice. I'm going to make a decision whether to continue or whether to slow down the pacing of a 311 disaster update. So, yeah. Why, Sean? I think cats need some curry this weekend. Yeah. Marburg, no problem. You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, cool. All right, Marburg. Yeah. I think the news getting more relaxed these days. It's less urgent these days. So I think I don't really have to focus on more stuff. Maybe I will start considering getting cut back to every other week something like that. So I think I'm going to make a decision by September 11. I think I'm not gonna do like a special show on the night of September 11. It's the half year anniversary of the March 11th, and then it's September 11th. So I'm going to think about that. All right, cool. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And it has been the 311 disaster update number 50 from Yokoso News. This is Katz from Yokoso News, yokosonews.com. All right. So I will see you guys next week. Next week is the September 6th, 2011 Japan Standard Time. Yeah, I will do random tweet casting, of course. I'm talking about this disaster update about news. All right. Okay, guys. Okay, so all right, cool. So everyone, thank you very much for watching the show. I need to take a rest. I'm gonna take a break. All right. So if you haven't watched my previous week update, please do watch. We have a great music. Jeffrey Johnson's Human Earth Experience, the album Soul and Heart, and charity album, and his story as well. All right, so I will see you next week. Good night, guys. Bye-bye.